Now, look, these are the things that people don't want to talk about is stuff like risk management. Before this bull market starts, this is crucial. All right. Listen, it's not super emotional at the moment. You're finding spots to buy. Everything's super low. You're not going to argue with yourself a whole bunch. You're going to go, geez, look how far down this thing is. Might as well go ahead and buy. Cool. The problem comes a little later. So I wanted to talk about this now before we get there. The problem comes when it's time to sell. And no one wants to do that. No one wants to take profits. No one wants to stop. How can we keep the emotions out and have a plan and have a backup plan and get our profits? That's our 4 rules of trading. Okay. Number 1, no emotions allowed. Number 2, have a plan. Number 3, what's our backup plan? Number 4, take your profits. If you don't take your profits, someone else will. Probably me. I don't care. I'm here to get paid. We make friends along the way. So, what I wanted to start with first is what happens when people over risk. What is over risking? Why? All right. Any good investor ever will tell you, you never ever want to go all in on one thing. Don't care what that is, whether that be going all in on Apple, going all in on Tesla, going all in on Bitcoin or XRP or whatever it is. That's never, ever, ever a wise investment move. Number 1, we noticed this from last bull market. A very simple problem happened, all right? Everybody got emotional about one asset, wanted to buy that one asset. Once you got in that asset, you didn't want to come out of it because you constantly felt fear of missing out that the big move was coming in, right? Had I done that, I would have been SOL. I'd have made so much less money. I started that way, but I didn't finish that way, okay? Once I realized and had that epiphany that there is no monsoon and there is no God candle coming, we have to grow up, everything changed, okay? That took me a while to do, but then I learned. It's probably best here to buy many things instead of one thing, because once this one thing doesn't move and all the others move, then you start to realize the rationale of splitting it up a little bit and being diversified. Now, how much diversification is good for you? 1, 15, 175 different things? Up to you. I'm going to tell you now from experience last bull market. At one point I had 30 different things I'd bought, and I wasn't working with the money that I'm working with now. I do this all the time, and that was too much. That was too much for me. Trying to trade 30 things actively was too much, especially because I had other things going on and I wasn't doing this full time yet. Although I was watching all the time, I wasn't doing it full time. I'd walk away, or I'd go across the roof, or I'd be working on a unit, or I'd be in a boiler room or cellar and no service, right? So I had to realize that that was too much. When I started missing the great take profit spots or the great buy spots because I'm looking at too many, I had to call myself on my bluff. All right. So the first thing I want to say is let's diversify, but let's diversify wisely. The average person, I kind of say this all the time, but 5 to 15 minutes a day is kind of all it takes to look. I was talking to a guy before we started this today, and 5-10 seconds, you can look at something and go, all right, that's done. On to the next. Pick your simple strategy, whatever that simple strategy is, right? We're going to do the 50 moving average. We're going to do the 821 EMA. Is it over or under? Is it right or wrong? If it's right, good, perfect. Don't worry about it. We're good. If it's wrong, well, clearly you know not to buy it. And if you have bought it, you know to sell it. That's it. Move on to the next. If you can do that with 10, you're doing amazing, because you're going to diversify into 10 different things that will likely all do good at different times. It isn't likely that they all go crazy at the same time. We've noticed that last bull market, there was a bit of movement from one to the next, from one to the next, up for you to catch. I'm not sitting here trying to tell you which ones to buy and sell. It's not necessary. Almost everything is going to do well. It's important to understand that you can overdo it and have too many, right? I know that. I have more time now, so I'm going to do it a little bit harder now. but I'm still going to try to roll back my feelings. I've already made a plan for myself. So I have 73 positions open. Folks, it's probably too many. Okay, the reason I did 73 different things, I'm going to split it up. I've already made up my mind that I'm not going to mess with Bitcoin. I'm going to put what I've got on a ledger and put it away till the end of the bull market. Already made my mind up on that. Okay. If I find very important spots where I think this thing's gone haywire nuts up, I'll probably stop and take some profits. But other than that, I'm not going to trade it back and forth and back and forth. I already know what it's going to do, so I'm just going to leave it be. Ethereum, I'm going to buy Ethereum and I'm going to lend it onto a lending platform that kind of locks my money in. So I can't buy and sell it on purpose because I know Ethereum is likely to do XXX, right? So those two I've eliminated from my thought process. Furthermore, some of them upper caps like maybe AVAX, Matic, BNB, I'm probably going to stash those on a DeFi platform and just earn some kind of yield or something. I don't know. I haven't made my mind up yet on that. But I don't want to actively trade everything. So I've sectioned this off into ones I'm going to kind of hang on to for the bull market. Most of them in the middle that I will trade back and forth over and over and over and over and over again. And then those low caps, those shitters that you see I've bought already. I've bought some really crappy ones on purpose because they're so far down and they've started to find support. I didn't want to leave the bottom alone. I wanted to try to buy the bottom. And since I think we've bought the bottom or at least bought close to it, I'm going to leave those shitters alone as well. And I don't care whether you think it's a shitter or not. I consider it a shitter based on the chart. It just looks awful. It's done nothing. No one's ever heard of it. It's just been sitting there since the bear market getting crushed. I call that a shitter. Okay. So I'm going to put that over there and just leave them alone as well. I'm going to start a separate spreadsheet just for those so I can monitor them as well. And I'll try to only trade those every once in a while if they go crazy. All right. And by that, I mean take a little profits here, maybe take a little profits here, because there will be new stuff that comes along during the bull market that I'm probably want to buy. I'm probably going to want to get a piece of it. I don't want to miss those. And in order to do that, I need capital. I need some liquidity so I can go do that stuff, which means I'm going to have to sell something off or take profits on something. I don't mind doing that. I will do that along the way. That's all there is to it. Okay. Things are going to get really chaotic, especially when you start to see stuff pop off. You're going to see new people come and start talking crazy shit about some random thing you've never heard of. It's all hype. Feels good. We're shilling it. I mean, they ask me to do it all the time, so I know this. They ask me to pay Twitter to promote what I'm doing. Twitter's actually got pretty darn good prices on promotions. Another guy last night inboxed me and said, "Hey man, I wanted to talk to you about doing a promotional thing. I'm willing to pay you." I'm like, I don't do that. It's going to happen. It happens almost every week to me. You're going to see it start popping up big time. That chaos is going to drive you to want to go wild. This is why I say have a plan now before you start. By God, once your plan's going, you need to stick to that plan. So I'm going to diversify. Of that diversification that I'm doing, I'm going to split up what I'm trading and what I'm not. I'm probably going to trade 60 to 70% of the stuff. I'll probably stash some uppers and I'll probably just hang on to some shitters to the end. All right. Because we know when the end comes, everything's going to go back down. It's probably time to bail anyway. Right. So there's my strategy. It's pretty simple, right? 60 to 70% of it gets traded. 20% of it probably not. 10% of it just going to hodl until it's over. Right. I'm going to split that up and keep it that way because I think that's the way I can maximize my gains with the allotment of time that I have to try to make my goal. And in case you guys don't know, my goal is to make at least $1 million this time. I come up short last time. I want to hit the $1 million mark. I think I can do more than that. I think I can probably get it to 2 million, maybe 2.2. But if I can see that $1 million number roll over in my mind, that means I made it, even if I haven't. That means I made it. It's a crazy thought. So that's my goal. On some of these trades, people are going to look at a chart and not know when to buy it and when to sell it, when to take profits, when not to take profits. Should I buy this or should I wait? All right, so I'm going to go over some basic stuff right quick using just any chart to look at to go, maybe should I buy this? Maybe should I not buy this? Okay. I'm going to do that. I guess I can use Aave since I haven't purchased this. Makes sense. Doesn't matter the strategy. I'm just going to give you a shot here to show you. If I'm looking at this and I go, am I going to buy Aave right now? Well, first, it kind of looks like it's hitting resistance, so that's a bit of a negative for me. If I buy this, how far up do I think it can go versus how far down do I think it can go? How far up do I think it can go versus how far down do I think it can go? That's reward risk. Now, I kind of flip it to risk reward because that's how I like to say it. It's more fluid for me, but same difference, doesn't matter. I'm going to grab the long tool from the tool selection over here on the left. It's right here. It says the first, second, third, fourth, fifth tool down is long position. Let's say today I bought Aave and I wanted to try to do really well on this. I can look at this chart and I can say, hey man, I think this likely goes up here to this 177 box. Okay, at the 50 fib. Likely it goes there. So I will pull this up here to where I think it's going to go. Got that? Cool. Next, where do I think I would put my stop loss in case shit got crazy? Okay, if stuff got really bad, where would I put my stop loss? Well, I like stop losses to be under the last low. The last low was right about here. See that? So we can put our stop loss there, or we can do different stop losses. We can do, perhaps you like the 50 moving average. Anything under the 50 moving average would be my stop loss. So the 50 moving average is right here at about $64.42. So I'll move this up to $63. How about that? So my risk is this little gray box. My reward is this green box. Now, do I think it's going to hurry up and get to that green box? No. This would be a long-term play. But the ratio for me, risk to reward, is 6-to-1. 6 gains to 1 loss. I want to maintain a risk-reward ratio of at least 3-to-1. At least 3-to-1 whenever I take a trade. That's going to be a combination of, is it above the moving averages? Is it above support or above resistance or below it or what, right? Is it near a fib line? Is it near a trend line? Has a broken trend? Does it look like it's going to move up? Blah, 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 blah. I want to maintain at least 3-to-1 before I take the trade. It's not worth it to take a trade that's 1-to-1 because you probably could have bought something else somewhere else that had a better risk reward. There will be times when there are no good risk to rewards. You should probably just do nothing at that point. Okay? So I've diversified. I've decided that I'm going to buy 10 coins. I've got a plan. I'm going to trade half of them and hold half of them. So 5 of them I'm going to go look through and I'm going to see, is my risk reward good enough to buy yet? If it's not, then we wait. We wait for a better place to buy until we see what we want to see. If this came down here to this yellow 50 moving average, hypothetically, we saw this price come way down here, and let's say it goes about right here and tags that 50. I'm going to move this stop loss down to the less low, which is even farther down here. All right. This one kind of gets invalidated when you move this far down. So you got to go to the last low past that. That's about $50. If that were to happen, and I wanted it to go to just this 382 fib here instead of the red box, just the 382 would be where I'm aiming for now. That's 3.65 to 1. Not bad. 3.65 to 1 is pretty darn good. Great. That's what I want to maintain, at least 3-to-1, right? 3-to-1 is better than 2-to-1, better than 1-to-1. If it goes up to that red box, great. Still even better at 6.5 to 1. That's what we were a moment ago. What if it goes to Sniper's Alley like I think many will do? That's a 20-to-1 risk to reward ratio. At what point do you call your own bluff and go, hey man, this thing might make 6-1 win loss. Am I really arguing about 1% today or tomorrow? No. Makes sense, everybody? Let's go look at one that I've actually bought and sold, like ICP, and to show you how this strategy applies to what I'm doing. All right, let's go find current position. Excuse me, hang on. ICP. All right. So looking at this chart, no indicators needed. Flip it to the weekly. I don't have Fibonacci retracement pulled up on this yet, but obviously I've bought down here where these green lines are. My purple line is my average. It's kind of hard for you to see right now, but that's about $3.15. It's my average price. I've bought all I'm going to buy of ICP now. I'm going to sit back and watch this likely. So if I think this is going to get up here to this first resistance level right through here, it's kind of high. I think it probably will. How much reward is that? Let's grab our long tool, right about where our entry is here, and we'll pull right about to that top of that arrow. How about our risk? How much risk are we going to take? Look, it's done a crazy move here. So I got to go down to the daily to do this. Otherwise, it's going to pop up an insane looking long tool there. So let me grab my spot better here. All right. Right there's my purple line. You can see a little better on daily, yeah. So I'll put this stop loss under the last low, which is these right here. Yeah, that's my last low. As you see, I'm already at 1-to-1, good to go. But I'm going to pull this up here all the way to the top of this arrow where I think this price will likely go. You're going to see a god-awful risk reward. Look, 66-to-1. Is that worth the risk to me? You bet your ass it is. Okay, fine. I can leave this alone and not worry about it. I think it'll get to that level. So, I'm good. What am I thinking? What are we talking about? This is crazy good gains. As such, I know I'm good to go even if it comes down some. It's fine. Let's say it doesn't go that high and it only gets up to these recent highs over here, right? Let's just say it gets to this high. Doesn't go any farther than that. I'm being hopium boy with ICP, right? This is still a daily chart. Still the same buy line. That's just to that high point right there that I pointed out a second ago. That's 15-to-1. 3-to-1 is all I need to go, hey, man, that's good. 15-to-1. That's 5 times better than I need. Okay. Good enough for me. Once it's good enough for me, that's it. All right. I wrote this stuff down because I wanted to be able to say I said so. Avoid over risk. I've carefully bought my spots here. I've allocated about 3% of my wallet or so to this asset. All right. Be controlled in the chaos because things are going to get wild. Know that your risk reward is okay and you're fine and you've got your alerts set and you know where you're going to stop, et cetera, et cetera. You're okay. Keep money fluid. What do I mean by that? What I mean is when the time comes, you're going to want to buy something early, like I was saying a minute ago. You're going to find something that you like and you want to buy it and you're fully in, you got nothing left. Part of the reason I took profits today, when and if this stuff moves down, like I think it may do, I want to have some capital to rebuy with. So I still have some stables, and now I have even more stables to take. I took some profits. I have some stable coins. Now I've got even more to buy lower if I see everything come down some more. I can increase the positions that I've already got, or I can take some new positions. My money is fluid. I have cash to spend. When you're all in all the time, you have no cash to spend. You have to go pull cash from the real world into the crypto space to try to keep up. And you never get any profits when you do that. You're only putting in money. I haven't put money in since 2020, and I'm not going to start now. I'm only taking money out. So if you're the kind of guy who has a ton of money and constantly keep throwing in all the time, great, but I ain't. So I'm going to keep my money fluid when I can. I'm going to take profits when I get the chance. I went through my list and seen what I was up most on and said, all right, I think I'll take a little profits on that. I think I'll take a little profits on this. And that's exactly why I did what I did. Okay. It's not as complicated as we make it out to be. All right. This is the biggest one that I want everyone to listen to. So we'll go full screen for this one. You're going to lose sometimes. You're going to win way more than you lose. And you've got to be patient and you've got to calm yourself down and realize you've got 1.5 to 2 years of upcoming. Every single day does not need to be green. You're going to see me say things on YouTube like, oh, this isn't good today, or it's not buy yet, or whatever, right? Because I haven't seen the instant improvement that I want to see, but I'm updating that every week. We're doing live streams constantly, all right? You need to have a plan in front of you now to be patient when the time comes to know I'm going to accept it when I screwed up and take my loss. And I'm going to accept it and take my W when I got my W's. If you don't take your win, you win nothing. If you sit back and say, well, I'm up 17,000%, but I want 20,000%. I don't give a fuck what you want, and the market doesn't care what you want either. You've got to get your money out when you can. I talked to multiple people after the last bull market whom were paper millionaires that never made any money. Let that, and I'm not joking. Listen, I had people tell me, hey man, I was making $70,000 a day. I said, wait a minute. You made $70,000 a day? Well, no, I was making that. And I was, oh, did you take any profits? No, I didn't take any. I said, so you didn't make $1 a day? No, I was making 70,000 a day. I said, no, you made 0 a day. You took no profits. You made no money. Well, my goal was to make 100,000 a day. Again, I appreciate that insane goal, but the market doesn't care what you think. When the party's over, the party's over. It's time to take profits and walk away. That's all there is to it. Realistically speaking, do you think $70,000 a day is sustainable? No, it's not. Do the math. You're not special. That's not going to keep up. When you're that far out in front, you should know better than to not take profits. Okay? You should be smarter than that. You are absolutely killing it. It's time to get paid. I talked to another guy who had $7 million on paper, never took profits, and owes $250,000 now. He's negative 7.25 million because he never took profits. He actually borrowed against his winnings to try to double down and screwed up. Cost himself $250,000. Don't be those people. I cannot stress this enough. Don't be those people. You better be happy with what you're winning with. Talked to Ray about this a week ago, and Ray was like, yeah, man, look, if I can make 4X, that's a home run. That's 400%. Most people don't make 400% in a lifetime, and I'll have made it in a year and a half. And I was like, you know what? That's a great perspective to have. You're probably going to do better than 4X, 5X. You're probably going to do better than that. You're probably going to get 7 to 10, but 4 or 5X is amazing. All right. Take your wins and know that the losses will be way bigger if you don't. Risk management does not have to be complicated. I showed you how I look for my buys, how I look for my sales, how much money can I make? Is it worth it? Is the chart ready? Do I have a good buy signal? Is the trend broke? You guys already know how I do my TA. All right. Now I have to allot my money more carefully. So I've picked a lot of mid caps, even if it's not going to happen first. I'm okay with that. I buy some Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'll ride those up, and just like everyone else, I'll take profits if the chance comes. If I need to go grab the ledger and unload it, I'll unload it. That's part of the game. I like to have a little bit of stable sitting on the sideline just in case. All right. Just in case things go wild. I want to be able to throw some money at something if I need to. So I've got diversification down. I've got what money I want in what groups that I've created for myself. I've got those that I'm going to hang on to, those that I'm going to trade, and those that I'm going to stash. I've got plans to take profits along the way. What's my backup plan? If things go crazy, I'll sell everything. I will absolutely sell everything. It takes me about 5 minutes to turn on my VPN, get to my exchange, and start selling everything. That's it. All I need is 5 minutes. So, no excuses. That's my exact plan. I just went through all 4 trading rules with you, but I use I use risk management to do so. It doesn't have to be rocket science. It really doesn't. Let's pick our spots carefully. Let's limit our risk. Let's maximize our rewards. And for God's sakes, take your profits. I'm telling you now, it's October 26th, 2023. We're going to get to this time in 2025. And all of you, not all, that's not true. A lot of you are going to argue with me that it's not time. Listen, do whatever you want, but I'm going to get out when the time's right. And you can hang on to the bag if you'd like, but not me. Okay? Thank y'all all for coming. I didn't need a whole bunch of charts to show y'all all this. Thank you for watching. If anybody's got any questions, go ahead and ask them now. Let me see. What are your take profit points on ICP? Kind of just showed you right there. I'm going to go based on Fibonacci retracement as it goes along. It really just depends on how things progress. Insane clown posse. ICP, Internet Computer Products or whatever. Internet Computer Products, whatever it is. Made hella monies with ICP already. See? See, he said, my problem is I chicken out and move stop loss to break even or cloud. You know what? That's an interesting thing. Let me put that in there too. Once you're way out in front and you're way up in profits, I want you to, like, for instance, I'm on profits on ICP here, right? So I'll grab this horizontal line and move it above my last buy. This is another thing you can do, right? Move it above your last buy. My last buy was that green dotted line. That red line I just put right there will be my stop loss in profits. All right. I'm smart enough to know that the bull market's going to go way farther, so I'm not freaking out right now about a little bit of a loss. But in the moment, if you'd like, you can set a line like this underneath the price, but above your profit line where you bought. Click alerts, add alert right there. You see the little time thing I hit right there? ICP crossing horizontal line. I can make it crossing down, greater than, moving up, right? Crossing down is what I'll select, horizontal line. Once per bar close, this is important, click that. Alert name, stop loss in profits. That's it. All right. And even right here, message, sell it, you dummy. Now I have a stop loss in profits with an alert on it that will ping me and tell me, hey, asshole, it's time to sell. You lock in profits this way. It's another strategy that you can use if you'd like. For these spot buys that are way out in profits for me, I'm already monitoring them every day, so I won't do that, but you can do it for you if you'd like. I particularly care to put these underneath support. That way, if it fails support, it pings me and hits that line and tells me. This thing has support on ICP right here at about 330. So all of my sales would have to be way under that. All right. For it to fail support and go farther means it's probably going to go way farther. So I'm not going to freak out. When this thing goes a little higher, let's say the price comes up here. Okay. Now I can set my stop loss line right up underneath these candles just in case it ever fails it. Something like that. Now my stop loss is way higher. I'll do the same thing. I'll set an alert, call the alert whatever I'd like, et cetera, et cetera. And now I'm getting out if I need to. It doesn't have to be hella complicated. This is just one little strategy here, okay? Moving your stop loss up as you go. You can even move it up every day that the price goes up. Like if the price goes up 10%, move your stop loss up 10%. Price goes down 3%, don't move it. Only move your stop loss up when the price goes up. All right, so tomorrow the price goes to 75% up. I'll move this 75% up. Price goes up 12%. I'll move this up 12%, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right. Good point. Sometimes the limits won't close, Chad. That's another problem with some of these exchanges. You'll set a limit and they don't give a shit what you want. It doesn't close the way you want it to. It just skips over your order. So if you set an alert on TradingView like this, you're going to the exchange yourself and starting to sell it, right? It's much more blunt and in your face when you're doing it. Sometimes your orders can get jumped over or won't fill all the way, especially if you have too big of an order. And some of you guys aren't going to listen to me and you're going to overdo it on buys and your orders won't open and close like you want. And then you'll learn what I'm talking about. It's only a matter of time. Do you have one super trigger button for 73 stop losses? No, just alerts. Now here's another thing. This is a part of having too many positions. You can only set so many alerts on TradingView per your schedule of your subscription service, right? If you got the cheaper one, I think you only get 5 alerts. So just set it for 5. Yeah. If all 5 of them are going off, you probably should start selling everything off anyway, right? So you'll get what I'm saying once you start doing it. If you set an alert to all or percentage in case it bounces, that's up to you. Pick your poison on that, how you want to do it. Today, I only sold portions. Why? Because I know good and well we have years of up to come. And a small piece being taken now is okay because I'll just buy in lower. It's okay. It's fine. I'm not going to go selling everything just because it starts to throw a little red. Learn my lesson on that, all right? Not necessary. We have 2 years of upcoming, at least a year and a half. Exactly. You know how it skips orders. Now, it's not just MEXC. Coinbase will do it. All of them will do it. Watch. Also, Coinbase did it this morning. It'll go down. And I don't care if you want to sell or not. You can't because Coinbase doesn't work. But at least you set an alert to go look. That's happened and will happen many, many times more. And you'll be super pissed. And there's nothing you can do about it. All right. Yeah. See, look, I sold some mana and it's kind of rebounding right now, but I'm not sure I buy it. And if it wants to keep going up, I'm happy about that. Let it keep going up some more. I've still got some in. It's fine. I still have $1,500 or something in it. It's fine. Cool. Off you go. Do your thing. But I was able to stack some stables. Anybody else got any other questions? And that'll be about it. Trailing stop orders don't work on every exchange, Ping Guy. That's the problem. They don't have them on every exchange. If you have them, sure. Great idea. Exactly, Your Highness. Nothing you can do about it. You're going to run into that a lot. For instance, worrying about BlackRock. Will the ETFs come through? Are they putting it on the website? Oh my God, it's not on the website. It's back on the website. Oh no, the website's down. I don't fucking care. I don't care. I've already bought and I'm already going to sell. I don't care. Fingers in the ears, dude. Bloop. I don't want to hear it. It's fine. Just do the chart. Everything else is noise. I remember this from the last bull market. My old boss knows that I'm doing this at this point. Starts watching live streams, sees me getting drunk at 2 a.m, and then coming into work the next day and says, "Are you feeling all right?" I'm like, "I'm fine." He's like, "How can you do that and then come into work?" I'm like, "Bro, I'm a professional." I said, "No, it's fine. I'm fine. I monitor. I limit myself to being stupid on days when I'm not coming to work." Oh, okay. He's like, so he pulls out his phone and shows me he's watching a podcast on Solana at the top. At this point, it's almost the end of 2021. He's watching a podcast about buying at the top. I'm like, "Turn that shit off, Billy. That's stupid. Don't do that." "Well, what do you mean?" I said, "That's dumb. Don't do that." I said, "This is all going to make you emotional and you're going to lose money." And then whenever I turned in my notice and quit, he texted me and he's like, "Well, I want to be your first customer." I'm like, "Bro, you're a little bit behind." So I got to get a hold of him in the next couple of days because I think he wants to do this and start to get ahead because, like he said, he doesn't want to do what he's doing forever either. Yeah, spreadsheet's fully updated now. My spreadsheet is fully updated. The big 200 coin list is not fully updated yet because I'm not positive that all the bottoms are in. Once I have all the bottoms in, I'll go in and change everything. Yeah, all my spreadsheet is in the pinned up messages in the unlimited chat. It's all in there. I just updated it again this morning. I update it every time I buy and sell. All right. Well, that's it. Thank y'all for watching. I'll have this up on YouTube here in just shortly, and it'll be in the same series of videos that it's in the other ones we've done in here, right? These are updated videos from 2019 that we did back in 2019 and 2020. Just updating them and redoing them for a new, fresh take on it. Thank y'all for watching. Y'all be good. See y'all later.